What's up, Richland High School? Welcome back to the fourth day. You guys have absolutely crushed it this week. I'm super proud of you and the way you've handled yourselves. A couple of days ago in one of these videos, we talked about those championship behaviors that we are going to be trying to instill in everyone. And we mentioned briefly the RISE matrix, right? Respect, integrity, safety, and excellence, and how those are some things that we're going to be tracking and rewarding and really leaning into over the course of the year. So today I'm going to talk about the first one of those. We're going to talk about respect. Respect is kind of the foundation of all of this, right? Like respect is the foundation of our school culture. It's how we make sure that everyone here at Richland High School feels valued, feels safe, feels inspired to give their absolute best. It all starts with the respect. If we're respecting other people and we're respecting the space and respecting ourselves, we're setting ourselves up for success throughout the entire year. So how does respect show up? It shows up in three different ways for me. First of all, it's about respecting yourself. It's about respecting your body and your mind. It's about making choices that build your future and that protect your reputation. You show respect for yourself by setting high expectations for yourself. That's a huge piece. The next way respect shows up is having respect for others, right? Treating every person with dignity, even if you don't know them. Everyone deserves your dignity, right? Listening without interrupting, listening to understand, not to respond, by valuing different opinions, by treating everyone like they matter, because they do matter, right? If you're in this building, you matter. So make sure that we're treating other people like they matter, right? And then showing respect for our school. That's the third way that it shows up, right? We have this amazing campus. We have this incredible space that we get to call home. So we need to show respect for that space, right? Leaving spaces better than we found them by picking up trash, even if it's not ours, right? By making sure that we're taking care of the resources that our school district has given us. Those are huge things that go a long ways to creating a culture where people want to be on a daily basis. That's a big deal. So why does all this matter, right? Why does respect matter? It matters because respect builds trust, right? If I know that you respect me and you know that I respect you, there's going to be trust there. Doesn't mean we always have to agree on everything, right? There's going to be conflicts from time to time, but you can disagree respectfully, right? You can trust someone and still disagree with them. So that's a huge piece, right? Respect builds trust. Trust builds community. Trust is how we build this thing that we're going to call Raider Nation, right? If you have trust with the people around you, then you're a part of something bigger than yourself, and that's a huge deal. And then the third piece of that is community builds champions, right? When respect is present, everyone gets better. So really focus on that piece, right? So then how do we live this every day, right? We know how respect shows up as respect for self, respect for others, respect for our school. How do we live that every single day, right? First of all, greeting people in the hallways. If I've heard people call it a 10-foot rule, right? If there's someone within 10 feet of you, you should greet them, right? And just say hi, just say, hey, what's up? How you doing? Like those are simple things, right? They make people feel seen. They make people feel valued. So greeting people in the hallways, like I said a minute ago, leaving spaces cleaner and better than you found them. You guys have done an amazing job in the cafeteria, but we have to continue that momentum, right? Table's clean when you sat down, it should be clean when you get up, right? All the seating areas in the library and up and down the hallways, our job is to take care of those spaces. And in order for us to be able to use those spaces and maximize the benefit to our school and to our student population, we got to take care of those spaces, right? So making sure that if I sit in one of those soft seating areas, that I leave it cleaner and better than it was when I found it, right? The next way it shows up, I said this a minute ago, is listening to understand, not to respond. Paying attention to what people say, right? It's one of the things that's actually really great about some of the new technology rules, right? And not being able to have AirPods or wireless headphones in. It forces us to listen, forces us to have conversations. Otherwise, it's real easy to stare at somebody when you got your headphones in and just kind of nod your head on, but you're not really paying attention because you're listening to whatever's going on in your ears. Now, without that interference, we get the opportunity to show respect for someone by paying attention to them and by making sure that they know that we're hearing what they're actually saying. How else does respect show up on a daily basis, right? We stand up for others. That's a huge piece, and it's a simple piece, right? When you see somebody acting a way they shouldn't be acting, it's okay to hold your peers accountable, and you can do it respectfully. Like, that's the big piece, right? We don't have to do it in a mean way. We don't have to do it in a harsh way, but it's really easy to say, hey, rise up. We don't do that here, right? That's the kind of leadership and the kind of respect we're looking for. So my challenge for all of you Raiders this week is to take one extra step in the next week to show respect for yourself, to show respect for others, and to show respect for your campus. If we could all do that, imagine that, if all 1,700 students and 200 plus staff members, if all of us took one extra step this week to show respect for ourselves, for others, and for our campus, imagine the kind of place that we will continue to create as we go forward. So thanks for taking a minute to listen. Teachers, I sent you 4 discussion questions attached to this email. So at this time, if you take just a quick moment to work through those discussion questions with your class, I would appreciate it. We'll talk to the rest of you guys later.